the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live.
And the main thing we cannot forget is I am the unified heavyweight champion.
You predicted BJ was going to beat me, didn't you? You predicted he was going to beat me. He got smashed.
All these years, the UK fighters had to go to America. Everyone had to spend a heap of money to go to Vegas. We can do it in London, around Wembley, Cardiff. It's local. We're staying right here. Wanda, let's go, baby! Let's go!
I smashed your body, your playmate, your playboy, your nightclub buddy, and I will smash you the exact same way.
Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora, Big Baby Miller, Joe Joyce, you can all have it, Dominic Brazil, whoever else is in America too, all have it!
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Let people rabbit on. That's why God gave you one mouth and two ears. Do more listening than talking. Rather talk sort of shit.
Get him in the ring and I'll knock him spark out. Thank you very much.
All you got to do is set the date. Don't wait, mate.
Yes, yes. What is up, TBV family? It is what, the third episode of UK Hour with Rob and Matt. And yes, it's going to be a live fight chat of Watkins versus Okoli. Yes, a little bit of preview of Tyson Fury. And yes, of course, it can't be UK Hour without some breaking news happening mid-show or pre-show, which I feel like is now a staple of this show. It happened last week. Now it's happening this week. Dillian Whyte versus Ortiz, or maybe Dillian Whyte versus Joseph Parker, is now being alleged to be in negotiations or confirmed. God knows what's happening. There's a press conference tomorrow for Dillian Whyte. So obviously that's going to, I think, take a lion's share of the show other than the Watkins versus Okoli fight. But, Rob, how you doing, man? Do I need to play your intro? Do you want me to play your intro?
No, I think that intro sufficed.
Yeah, and it made it through. It made it through. I was
Did it? I was
worried about copyright with that one, but we made it.
Yeah. Well, what did people make of that in the chat? I want to hear about whether they like the intro. Now we know it's good and not, bringing up anything.
I got a couple intros. Dope. Love the intro. So I think we're good. Shout out to Dollar DiBiase, of course. $_DiBiase on YouTube and Instagram. Check him out.
Yeah. Okay. That was me, but never mind.
No, that was oh, that was you. You made that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, sorry.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
It's okay though. Digressing. Rob wants to lie and say that he's a music producer now. It's okay. We can.
Oh, okay.
I'm Jay Prince. I didn't know if you knew that, but I'm Jay Prince in the flesh. But digressing.
I don't know what that means. But anyway,
I don't really know where to start because the Dillian Whyte news, I think, has shattered everything. The Okoli fight's not starting yet. I don't know. Where do you want to start, Rob? There's a lot to get into right now because there's Dillian Whyte information.
Yeah, I mean,
or lack thereof.
This is kind of all started. It was like, we'll start off with like Parker Jennings. This was like, I think Jennings had put out there that this is done, and then David Higgins has said, no, it's not, and that Ustinov was an option, and things like this. Anyway, throughout the day, then news broke that there was a press conference for Dillian Whyte tomorrow about his unnamed opponent, and then obviously people it's just Pulev, and then it was like, but it's a Matchroom thing, but they didn't win the purse bids. Would it be a Matchroom press conference if they didn't win the purse bid? So it was like, oh, people like, maybe it's Ortiz, and then people like, nah, he ain't gonna go down that route. Dillian Whyte ain't gonna take on Ortiz, no way. And then next thing, Dan Raphael breaks the story that a deal is done. And yeah, we were getting Dillian Whyte, Ortiz, final eliminator for the WBC. And it was like, wow, shout out to Dillian Whyte going this route.
And then,
yeah. And then it was like, nah, it's not happening. It's not that. There's been reports coming in. Someone has spoken to Eddie Hearn tonight. He's apparently denied it, tapped his nose to the guy that asked it and said, "See you tomorrow." And that Joseph Parker is now the front runner for Dillian Whyte.
I wouldn't say the front runner. I don't know if that's correct. I think he's in the equation. He's in the mix. Whatever verbiage you want to use, I think you can use that. But I don't think we can say a front runner. Like you have Dan Rayfield of ESPN saying it's Luis Ortiz. I have multiple sources telling me it's Luis Ortiz. Everything's confirmed. The press conference for tomorrow is going to happen. Then we have Boxing Scene articles saying that Luis Ortiz's people are saying that's not the case. Eddie Hearn's saying that's not the case. Now we have Joseph Parker coming out of nowhere when we all thought that was going to happen with Brian Jennings. I was just on this show, not this exact show, but, the flagship show, was it Sunday or Thursday, and saying that, the heavyweight division's all getting figured out. Like, the top of it's all getting matched up right now. And nope, it's not. Not at all.
Now we can't figure it out at all.
God knows what's up. So what do fans of Dillian Whyte or UK fans want? Do they want a Joseph Parker fight, or do they want the Luis Ortiz fight, in your opinion?
I'm not sure, really. I think they just want him to be the mandatory for Deontay Wilder. They want him to have his shot. And then I guess, because some people were saying he doesn't need to go the Pulev IBF route because at some point he's going to get a Joshua fight anyway. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be mandatory, that kind of route. It'll just get made because it's a big UK domestic fight at some point, whatever. But then people were saying, "Oh, does he really want to go Ortiz? The alleged boogeyman of the division, even though he picked up the loss to Wilder." But I feel there's been quite a good shift for Dillian Whyte and how he's come across. Because I think at some point he used to, people either love him or hate him. But I think there's a few more now leaning towards loving him. And when it came out with Ortiz, people check the balls on Dillian Whyte. He's kind of got a spot that he's going to face Wilder at some point, but he's going for the final eliminator. I'm going to take out Ortiz or whatever, but we're just going to have to wait till tomorrow just to find out who this opponent is.
And let's not forget that Eddie Hearn came out, last week maybe? I think that's probably pushing it, maybe even sooner than that, and said if the WBC makes Whyte versus Ortiz the final eliminator, the official mandatory over Dominic Brazil, we'll take the Ortiz fight. So that's why this news from Dan Rayfield completely lined up with what everybody was saying pre this article. And now we're having Joseph Parker in the mix. I'll be honest, I don't think Joseph Parker is the right matchup for Dillian Whyte. I'll probably even make the argument that I don't even think Luis Ortiz is the right matchup for Dillian Whyte. But out of the people that are involved, Pulev, Ortiz, Parker. Ortiz is the direct shot to a belt, more so than Pulev. Even though Pulev is an IBF mandatory, etc. Ortiz is a mandatory status and a name that we all respect, and a name that a lot of people think beat Deontay Wilder. They think that Deontay Wilder got saved by corrupt judging or officiating, even though I think that's a load of bullshit. There's people that think that. There are people that think that Ortiz should have won that fight, and he didn't. So those people are going to then see maybe Dillian Whyte beat him. And that's going to be something to watch.
Yeah. It'd just be interesting tomorrow just to see how this all, like you say, lines up. Because then, like you say, the heavyweight divisions may be slightly a little change in the landscape and how things are sort of going on. So, we'll just have to wait and see on this news, I guess. I mean, we've got Okoli just stepping in the ring now, Matt. AJ's in attendance. Obviously, he's part of
AJ Boxing.
I think, AJ Boxing. There, they're all on the ring ropes and everything. So, and Dillian Whyte's in the audience as well. It's a small venue, the York Hall, but atmosphere's electric. But I guess while they're still doing ring entries and stuff, we can maybe discuss Dillian Whyte a little more. But like I say, until we know, maybe it's all speculate. But it was just like you say, the source was Dan Rayfield, was usually pretty good. Well, it's usually pretty spot on. So
it's ESPN,
Yeah, and I'm guessing he's got an abundance of decent contacts and sources where he gets his information.
Yep, and the press conference is in the morning tomorrow. I'm not gonna give out the exact time because it says do not publicize that stuff in this press release. But it is in the morning, so we should know. For us in the U.S. at least, we should know when we wake up. You know, especially for us on the West Coast. When I wake up, all this news should be official, and all this information should be out in public. So hopefully, like you said, we get obviously some clearance of what this is. Some transparency, because all the matchups involved are so good. Like Whyte versus Parker, Whyte versus Pulev, Whyte versus Ortiz, all good matchups, all of them. So I'm hyped for any of them, to be honest. This Ortiz one to me just, for some reason, it seemed to like break boxing Twitter for a moment. Whenever that happens, you have to sort of pay attention to that. That's a fight that captures the public imagination.
Yeah, and I just think this is kind of sort of proof that a loss on your record isn't, his loss to AJ. It sort of hasn't really hurt him in a way. Obviously, winning it would have maybe been, a different story, but he's taken that loss. And I think at the time, after that, he didn't change his Twitter bio and, put the loss on the record. He used to have it in his bio and people used to get on at him at that. But I think there's been although he still says crazy, mad stuff, there's a sense of him maturing a little bit and growing as a fighter. And, he's turned that loss and, gone on this run now and, the future, but if we get Ortiz, that's another, shout out if it's Ortiz, but as we're telling you, it's maybe not looking that way, but we'll just have to wait and take promoter's word for it that it's not on until we find out he's actually not on. So we'll find out tomorrow. But
yeah, I just want to say shout out to Dillian Whyte because, like we've said, he has improved drastically, I think, in his boxing technique. His jab alone. You look at his jab against Anthony Joshua, and then you look at his jab in his most recent fight. It's night and day difference. Just awareness of distance, awareness of range, timing. Those more high level skills and techniques. He is starting to learn. So I think he is going to be a guy that, even though he has lost, he's going to be around for a bit. He's still young. And same with Ortiz. Even though he's older, Ortiz having this loss, he's still around. People still consider him a top quality name. But digressing, of course.